Hello, this is Chef Kevin, and I'm making potato fondant. Potato fondant is a very, very old French recipe, and you really don't see it much today, probably because it's time-consuming to make and you have to have a certain amount of skill to do it. It's much easier to bake potato or to deep fry a potato. However, you will find this in some fine dining establishments. The potatoes are sautéed first and then baked in an oven. The exterior is nice and crispy and the interior is nice and creamy. I have several russet potatoes. These are the potatoes you should use because they hold up much better than other potato types. I simply cut the tops and bottoms off. Now I'm going to take my knife and just peel it. I don't want to use a potato peeler because that's how they didn't have those back in the medieval days. And the cuts actually make it look more attractive. Now in half. The goal is to try to get them equal size. This way they cook evenly and it gives a better presentation. You don't want a whole bunch of different sizes. I'm going to trim those down later. I'm going to continue working on these and then I'm going to start sauteing them. Watch how I do it. Okay, I have a bunch of nice little pieces here. I'm going to soak them in cold water for 15-20 minutes just to get the starch off the outsides of them, and then I'll start sauteing them. Okay, they've been rinsed. Now I'm just going to dry them off. The next step is I'm going to saute them and then finish them in the oven. Nice and dry. Potatoes fit for a king. Okay folks, here we go. Little peanut oil. Not too much. And I have some Kerrygold butter. Going to let that foam subside just a little bit. That means the water has been evaporated from the butter. And then I'm going to add the potato pieces and let them cook until they have a nice crisp on the bottom, and then do the same on the other side. And by the way, fondant means cooked in stock, and that's the last step. Oil is nice and hot. Potatoes in. The oil and the butter come up about less than 1/4 of an inch. Little pepper, little salt, and I'm going to throw in some thyme, fresh thyme, and this is going to infuse in the oil. Sounds like a little fireworks show, doesn't it? Okay, let's take a look at the bottoms. You see how nice and brown that is? That's what we're looking for. So what I'm going to do is just flip them around and cook the other side now. Let's check the bottoms on these. Nice and browned off. What I'm going to do now is take these out, put them in a separate pan, and then dump the oil from this pot. Okay, I have a clean oven-proof dish here. I'm going to put my potatoes back in. Going to add another piece of butter. Going to add some chicken stock. I don't have homemade right now. This will have to do. Not too much. You want to come up about 1/4 of an inch or so. A little more time. Now I'm going to pop that in the oven, 390 degrees for 20 minutes, and I'm going to monitor the liquid level, make sure it doesn't get too low. Okay, straight from the oven. It's still sizzling. This actually took 20 minutes of cook time at 390 degrees. They're super hot. I'm going to let them cool down, and then I'm going to cut into one, and we'll take a look at it. Okay folks, let's check this out here. They're very crispy on the outside. You can hear that when I run the fork across the top. Let's take one. It's nice and creamy on the inside. Still pretty hot. And well, let me taste this with my ketchup. Well, I hate to brag, but these are really, really good. You can definitely taste the thyme and the butter, and the stock has all been absorbed into the potato. I think I can make a meal out of this by itself. Well, okay folks, I'm going to incorporate this into a nice meal. Thanks for watching.